What am I gonna do about this, Kelly? I'm stuck in a little zone, anxiety, like trying to talk to my dad. I can't even fucking talk to this guy, like, for any reason. Like, my dad is completely, like, a fucking robot. And I fucking turn into a robot talking to him. I'm just really upset. There's a document that says present by attorney. It doesn't say present with attorney. And that's like literally the most important check mark ever. That means like all the back network people know I'm a bitch. And that I didn't show up in the room. That is... Now I have to play this differently. Like it has to look like I did it on purpose in order to trap the system further. But on my personal public level, I fucked up. I feel like I failed you because I didn't have the wherewithal to make sure I looked them in the eyes. So now I have to like use this reality of like they still haven't seen me to now like conjure up like what I want to do for the next couple of weeks. Like, I'm still kind of in explosion mode where I can't even really see any type of formulation of a reality because it's like everything is just so much noise. So I'm trying to get some rest. I'd like to maybe have a healthy sexual, like, getting off and not have it be, like, doing it because I'm having anxiety, but I really need my friend's house to work out. So maybe my anxiety is a little bit that because I'm like, I don't want to be here, but I don't got nowhere to be. So like, there's a lot of water around the property, which I think I need. Because I'm just gonna literally go into the portal and perform for you and just like literally be yoga all the time, masculine energy, lay in your bed and rub yourself forever. It's like I'm creating all this film, timestamping everything. Like, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, only I really know that it was a failure, though. Everyone else thinks it's no big deal. I'm the only one who knows the gravity of that because now I was supposed to be the guy that can just walk into courtrooms whenever he wants, like, and they can't stop me. I can walk through the bar. So that was the initiation for myself, to give to myself, to be ready to hold the space that I can just walk around wherever I want. And I picked into the fear, like, I can't go in without my lawyer. Like that is the reality here. I can't go in without my lawyer. I don't want her to see me walking in alone. I want her to see me walking in with my lawyer. That was my thought. So I waited outside without really making sure that she wasn't in there. So I'm sitting there in that energy while they're literally talking about me. And it's all three women in there, so I couldn't get into the womb where the three women were. And I am like the man woman because I'm doing the waters. So like now it's the three women and the two men in there next. Like, it changes everything about how we approach this next one because we didn't get information, and I somewhat look like a fool to my lawyer now because she's like, haha, now I got him on that. I don't have to worry about that. Like, my lawyer doesn't care about me. She doesn't care about my emotions. She doesn't care about how I feel. She cares about litigating this thing so it makes the state look good and like I just get off. That's how she needs it to look. So the state still looks good, and I still get off. Like that's what she needs. So she's always gonna keep the line as far over toward the state as much as she can, unless I'm challenging her to move it around. So by me standing next to her, I'm challenging her to move it around. So by her, now I get to listen to the audio of the recording of what happened in there without me there. The only thing that's really beneficial here is I get to hear these people's voices, like talking about me without me in the room, to understand like who they are before they see me. Because now when they see me, it's going to change their perspective because they see me. So I'm going to have to do some like alchemy with like their voices, and just knowing that when I look at them, like I know a part of them already. Because then that's going to help them. Oh, like the SAO might stumble her words, stuff like that. Because of like how she feels, because it's never really written till it's in the room. That's why I was writing humanity's software code by being in the room. So like now, because I couldn't get in there, and it was more of like an energy of my parents not supporting me because I'm somewhat feeling alone, not really standing up for myself, because technically I don't even really need to even be doing the case at all. I can just fucking just say, fuck y'alls, fuck you, and then just like, check myself out of the charge. So I'm kind of going through the journey of the trial for the performance to my parents, to teach them about, y'alls, this is where you birthed me. You birthed me through this system. Like, do you want to pay attention to it? Like, because they're continuing to think the system, is going to fix me. And now with this event, like I can't go to some system place and then go sit down and talk about this. Because now, like, this event is now the most traumatic event in my life. Like, far greater than my jaw injury, far greater than Jack's, like, far greater than the accident itself. Like, the event yesterday. Really is. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I'm somewhat stuck in the game of hockey from the beginning because my parents put me in it. I'm playing for them. I'm playing to impress them. I'm just trying to do whatever I can to make sure I'm a good player. Like, after practices, I'm like 13, 14, 15. Like, where I got this minivan, I'll go in the back seat, I'll lay down, and I'll fucking I would jerk off like 3, 4 times. Like, in the back of the seat. And I'd kind of be looking at my dad, like, just making sure he wasn't going to catch me. So then I'd like, oh, get off, I feel better. I'd be like, oh. It was almost like a release from all the energy of practice. It was anxiety because I'm stuck in now the car for 45 minutes. So like a little bit of what I'm doing is like all of that recall. Like like it's kind of like an anxiety pill. I can't take a pill to stop me from doing it because I know I can't put it in my body knowing what it's going to do, what's doing in my body to stop me from doing it. So like, just got energy really stuck in my... I gotta do some twisting or something, like... Energy through my midsection is just really stuck. Like, honestly, laying down with you is the most sacred moment in my life. Not just the laying down, but just like knowing that you're coming to my game, like writing your name on the thing for tickets. Like, honestly, it was like the most, like it's just like the feeling of purity, like just like, oh yeah, yeah, like I just love doing it. Like, oh yes, she's coming to see me play. Like, and that's what it is. It's like the mother presence watching the son like create. I'm performing. The baby's performing for its environment. So like, I was connecting with my lover, like of my own choice, without anybody else putting it onto me. I like found it myself. So like, I realized like, I'm gonna return to this. I'm gonna continue returning to this in my bed. Like, I'm not gonna go out there and looking for the help. I need to like return to this stuff. Or retreat to this. So have a place where I can lock all the doors. Nobody's gonna bother me. I'm safe. Nobody even knows where I am. Like literally, nobody in the world knows where I am. Like just like, the roommate. Because I'm stuck here anyways. My neighbors, like all the energy, like even if like I'm not like the energy there, like it's gonna be the same everywhere. And once the environment's set, I'm just gonna be moving into the environment. Like this environment has now played out, right? It was my 7-year launch pad. Now I'm past the 7-year mark. Like everything is now recreating the beginning of that part of the energy when I got into the house, which was probably at like one of its worst times. So like now anything I'm building is like built on top of the unconsciousness of that time. That's why like I think it's okay to readjust, find a new space, clear it. Now I start new from a new space because I don't have any memory there. And I'm smart enough to know how to clear the etheric energy of any space. That's why I don't feel like there's a rush to come back to London. Once I come up, clear the space, boom. Now we have the center point. So I think it's only right, like the portal here gets taken down, big one. And knowing that I'm taking it north. And technically, like, by looking at that one place, I started to go thinking about going north, and then this situation is now even more north, with water around. So the water is going to resonate with all the water. It's going to put me around water. Like the money's almost irrelevant because like it's really about the activity each day. If I just move into the activity of making the money and I enjoy the activity of it, like, doing 8 hours of work is gonna feel like that. could just imagine us exploring together from the beginning. Like there was just something about our bodies that just fit together. I don't know. Like I just never found like anyone else where I felt like I cuddled the same. I mean, I enjoyed cuddling with some women I did, but it never ever felt the same. Like, and I always like had an imprint of like remembering you. Even when we had alone time at your house a few times, like I was like, yeah, this is me. This is where I want to be. Like, like with you, like I'm like, yeah. And then just got wrapped up in like all the excitement around me, and then I go into my first year pro a month or two later. Boom. Then I'm back with the vampire energy, and then she's in London, and then that's just there for years. Great. So I guess the dust settles, and now I can enter back in. Because if this whole genetic story like is pretty wild. See, there had to have been something there sexually, because you said like you hadn't really been with many people, and it was like, but you knew how to grab me, like you knew how to handle the dick, like for sure. That's why like the women, like they want to grab the man's dick, like it's like a feeling of the umbilical cord grabbing it in the womb, pulling it in to you. So like you're gonna have the memory of what it felt like to have me in your hand. Like, how do I access that memory to connect with you, to like send messages? Because technically that's my lightning bolt, right? Like, it's like neural pathways flickering. Sit here, just think about that time, but then I'm recreating, like, I'm living in an image. And it's taught us how it's like, fantasy recreation. I'll never be able to truly be next to you. I can't just come to Florida as a Canadian citizen and just like walk around. Like, I have to now like go like rogue, like completely. I have to change like the reality here and now remove myself and then use the story that happened here as a launch board to just what's going on with me in society. And then have like the paper language tongue and go around publicly on all these like podcasts and talk and articulate the story. So I'm out in the street feeling like, okay, fuck it, I'm a Panther cat, I'm gonna do this, stay on the street, do this campaign, start, but like, that's the energy I need, but to cycle it into one place, like, and then go into that place as if it's a street, and then start creating law within the tech, as in like, this is just how we're gonna interact now. That way I can prepare for the Pi blockchain stuff. So again, I just need this house to come through because I'm off the paper. It's like a low amount of money considering what I have, and then in a great location. I could move in, I could I could move in before I even need to pay all of it up front, move into work. Now, as soon as I get in there for 2 weeks, you know, boom. Like, now my communications with you go to the next level. I'm performing, which is helping me get up there. Because I mean, sitting around, this is not bad, just sitting around. Like I said, nobody cares about that check mark but me. You know, present by attorney. Like, I'm literally like jerking off thinking about being in that little halfway room before going into the room and not going in. It's like, oh, I'm not going in. Like, it's the equivalent, I think, of also getting circumcised. Like, oh, just at the tip. Oh, I can't get in. I can't feel it. Like, we're all fucking ridiculously sexually programmed, especially circumcised men, because, like, it's supposed to feel like our penis is inside a vagina literally 24/7, because you have the skin over the head. And then you have all these glands and pores and stuff. But they cut that off, to kind of mutilate us, to expose that, so then we kind of are always like, looking for it, looking for the vagina. And then we don't really understand, like, how that even works. And I can't even be thinking about, like, this is crazy stuff. Like, I'm now just gonna, like, almost, like, put myself in a position where, like, I'm really gonna risk, like, now taking this thing to trial. To try and drag this into where now I take the stand and just, like, absolutely surprise them. So now I have to go, like, way, way, way dark. Try and get that CAD one last time before the hearing or before the trial. And then just really get her to, like, really grill him in this. Like, so I have to remove, like, see, like, now my thinking process is starting to open up with you, right? Like, I can't brainstorm with my parents because they're in this whole, like, other matrix. I'm sitting with them all week. They're chasing me around, and then I don't even show up, like. So I have to brainstorm with you. Because I'm sitting all week thinking, oh, I'm going to go to this thing and then come back to the house and then I'll go over to this other place. Well, I mean, now it's obvious this other place isn't meant to be my reality because I'm sitting there committing to doing it all week instead of, like, arranging. Now this friend pops into the reality on the weekend, gives me an opportunity on the new moon to fucking put something out there. Well, I mean, my brain's going to probably reconfigure it. Like, because, like I said this morning, like, I don't think my parents would be able to sell the house. They would live in it for a period of, like, 5 months before they could even sell it. Because they would feel like they'd be like, because then they'd sell it and then what? Like, oh yeah, then now they know I'm going to be upset at them for selling it. Especially if they don't, like, it's not a dire need to need the money. See, they also want to, like, refinance it and do stuff with it so they can get money to send me to this place, right? But they're not disclosing this. So they want to have, like, fix the house up while I'm over there so that they can get more money, extract more money out of the house, and then that money can go toward paying from where I am. So, like, I can't even be involved with, like, the thinking process on that. Like, I would rather, like, go and, like, do my own healing with the spiritual group of people that I know. That are around me, and she's got 2 kids. I mean, she's got the boys. They don't have the imprints, right? And they don't have the vaccines. Like, she teaches these boys differently than most. Looking at your picture, I got our picture together on this one right now. gorgeous. Like, all this time, like, still, like, feel this way, like, this ain't no accident, like, this is fucking, like, deep love, yo. This is, like, freaking, I can see your Merkaba, like, kind of energy. I see, like, through the skin, like, you know, I see your light, I see your light. And that's why, like, I really, like, oh my God, like, the abuse thing, like, he's definitely, you know, somewhat shielding you. Maybe that's because he, you know, he's trying to protect you because you've been hurt. Maybe he thinks you've been hurt by me because you've told him things that, oh, I left. You know, oh, I kissed other girls, I left. Went back with my ex-girlfriend. Like, you know this, and then you see her. Then I left her. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm just leaving girls. Like, without hearing my side of, like, my feelings. Because remember, I'm just the guy on the ice. Like, nobody's really sat down with me. Nobody sits down with any of us. Really wants to, even cares what's going on. They just want to see the next play, or the next fight, because that they want to see them out there themselves. So I sit here, I do this, so I can do two things at once. I get to listen to myself, air out my thinking processes to make sure I'm on point or not. And I also get to reprogram AI with my face, because it sees me as the Pharaoh. So then I start creating these conversations in the collective just because of, like, oh, guys are playing a certain way because it's part of the unconscious. So if I'm starting to glitch it back in and change the replays, because I'm siphoning the replays into my awareness, which is like, oh, you're out of the replay because you're meeting me, because I'm out of the replay. That's why my parents will continue going in a much, much, much darker place. Especially over the next 2 weeks, it's going to be like a cliff because of my birthday time. It's how they feel about my birthday too. It's not just my birthday time. It's how they feel about when my birthday time is. Because they were going through the emotions of having me. And, like, am I thankful? Like, am I not? Birthday present? Like, all this energy. And now for my birthday present, it's like, yo, stay the fuck away from me. You know? Unless, like, I can pay you and live here, no, stay the fuck away from me. Right? Because I'm paying here. It means I'm agreeing. You know, they don't. It's just ridiculous. I now haven't worked for like 4 months, like, really. Without even, like, trying. I mean, I can't. I go out and work, I lose the money the next day, so. Because the money's got nowhere to go to. Like, I'm going to save the money up to what? Like, to go, what, live somewhere else? Like, no, all I need is like a couple $100, and then I just check myself out of the reality, plug into $1 million account. You know what I mean? Like, my brain knows I can do this, so, like, oh, I'm not gonna go get the dead end job and try and, like, keep paying rent. I'm just gonna fucking just rearrange different space to go deep, and then set up all the paperwork. So now I just plug into all these financial systems, and now there's just like a massive pool of money waiting for us. Now I have my private army and my security team, my posse, and my... See, like, these people aren't going to know how to do the paper game. So I have to find lucrative human people that don't know how to do the writing, get them to understand what's going on. Now they're just like, oh shit, I want to go into the system. And then now, like, they have something to fight for because, like, I have a track record. And, like, I can sit in a room in, like, a place, you know, in London, and, like, just the presence of my body is going to create attraction of people wanting to do business. So then they're going to get people that I may not do business with, but they will, independently from what we're doing together as a team. So, like coaching people through this is part of, like, the on display process. So I'm putting this on display for my parents. They don't care enough to even know anything that's going on, like, with, like, making sure, like, I'm emotionally prepared for yesterday. They're somewhat leaving me out to dry emotionally because They don't know what to do because they don't even understand the scheme themselves. Because I straight up got abused by the cops, going 30 miles an hour in my own lane. You know, going the speed limit. I'm gonna turn this off, take a break, and talk, and